All right, we should be up and oh, that sounded weird. All right, we should be up and running though right now. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Hopefully your weekend has been going well. I know personally I haven't had an opportunity to do anything, but I did get to watch the Bucks go to the finals last night. So I'm in a good mood today, smiling ear to ear. Hopefully some of you guys enjoy something fun today, and happy 4th to everybody.
Big congrats on that. Happy, I know that feeling, and hopefully you guys can beat Phoenix and take it down.
I expect it to be a good series. I told you months ago, after the second regular season game between Milwaukee and Phoenix, that if this is the finals, that the American people are in for a treat because these two played two of the best regular season games of the year. And Suns won by 1 point each time. So, I mean, if we can be treated to like a series like that, where we get like maybe 3, 4, 5 really, really good games, like I know you know who I'm rooting for, but I'm just saying like that's just fun, good basketball for everybody to watch.
For sure, no doubt about it. I'm with you 100%.
All right. That being said, guys, we're here to talk baseball today, and this is the only slate we're covering for the day. It's a holiday. It's the only good slate on tap. So this will be it, and then we'll be calling it in a day. You got some writing to do for this. I got to cut the lawn. So real exciting stuff for our 4th of July.
Yeah.
Speaking of exciting, the weather today seems to be no big deal. Not like yesterday.
No, seems like we're pretty good all over.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem to be like something we need to over-evaluate, which is awesome. I looked earlier and didn't see ownership percentages up anywhere, but I don't know if they've been refreshed since then. Who do you think the chalk pitchers are today, and what are you thinking?
It's a good question. Not entirely sure.
Do you think people have kind of given up on Garrett Cole for the time being?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think Peralta gets more love than him.
I do too.
Okay. And I like Peralta more than Garrett Cole. He's a guy that, you mentioned with the spin rate stuff came out. He has not been the same guy.
Not even a little bit.
So I'm not interested in Garrett Cole. He looks to be one of the main benefactors of the sticky substance stuff. And until I see something differently, I ain't paying 10-6 for him on a slate with good options.
I'm with you 100% there.
What are your thoughts on Freddie today for the hottest team in baseball?
Yeah, I like Freddie here. I don't love picking on Pittsburgh. They don't strike out a lot, but he looks to be a nice SP1. Maybe not the highest upside in the world, but I like him quite a bit.
All right, and then right below him, I'm only slightly gun shy because the one time I got a little excited about Robbie Ray was his 11-point performance. But outside of that, this guy's been a whole new guy this year. And I don't love picking on Tampa because I really respect them as a team and as an organization. But they've dropped 5 straight. They strike out a ton. What are your thoughts on Robbie Ray?
Yeah, I like Robbie Ray here probably more than I have all year. Tampa strikes out so much against left-handed pitching. That's really all it is. He's been good. I mean, I think you can feel good about here.
Okay. I like Ray better than I like Giolito. He seems to be another guy. We can bring it all the way back to what Josh Donaldson was saying.
Yeah, agreed. Giolito has not been that good. I also prefer Ray. I don't even think it's that close.
Man, this really did throw kind of an interesting curveball into the MLB DFS season, didn't it? Trying to figure out what some of these, because, a month or two ago, you would have thought about, I know you're not a monster Giolito fan, but you thought of Lucas Giolito and Garrett Cole as two of the elite guys out there right now, and you don't get the same vibe from them anymore.
No, not even a little bit.
All right. After that, stop me if there's anybody you're interested in. Wade Miley.
No.
Kyle Hendricks.
No.
Greinke.
No.
Stroman. Snell. Agreed. Then we get down to Chuck Morton at 7,800. Came back down to earth a little bit last time out, no doubt about it, but still had 7 strikeouts. Gave up some hits to the Mets, gave up a couple earned runs. I'm interested. I don't know if I'm going to use him or not, but I'm definitely interested.
I'm interested as well. He stopped throwing like his, I can't remember what pitch, like his slider or something, like the worst pitch he had. He stopped throwing it 3 starts ago. And the results have obviously been there.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think we try to throw a little more respect on Miami's name than most people, but, they're a below average offense. So, I mean, maybe not significantly below average, but it's a good matchup. Maybe not great.
For sure.
Okay, so I got Morton and then no to Tyler Anderson, no to Yarbrough. Just too much risk against a Toronto team, and he's been little inconsistent for my money.
Agreed.
Then we get down to two. The last two guys I think that we'll be mentioning. What about Zach Thompson?
He's been good, man. I think I think you can pair both pitchers in this game if you want to spend up on hitting.
I think that's a viable option. Do you feel like this is one where we're still waiting on the other shoe to drop, or is this kid just a good young pitcher and probably won't be like this every start, but is just a guy that you can expect good performances from?
I'm definitely waiting for the other shoe to drop. I mean, he already faced this Atlanta team. I wouldn't be surprised if it's today.
I was kind of wondering if you might be into the Atlanta stack today.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I am.
Okay. Have you seen anything on ownership percentages to know that he's going to get a lot of love and the leverage is real?
Ownership is out, and I'm checking it right now. I would imagine he gets some. No, he's not projected to get much love at all. I think people are probably more scared about the ballpark. It's still Atlanta. If it were in Miami, I'm sure he'd get more love.
Makes a lot of sense. So it makes the Atlanta stack a little bit less desirable, but still one where are the Braves getting love? Because I wouldn't think they would be.
No.
Okay. So you can still check out the Braves for a low and stack. And then we get to Kenta Maeda. We've talked about this a lot over the last couple of days. You had pointed out a few days ago that not only is Kansas City just awful, but they've brought up some new guys who are striking out more. I know Maeda has not been very good this season, which is just not his normal thing, but Kansas City is all types of terrible.
Yes, they are. Yes, they certainly are.
So are you interested in Maeda, or you want to see something more out of him before you really feel like you want to put your money in here?
I'm interested, but I just like the other options more, so I won't use them today.
Sometimes it's obviously, we all know DFS is a lot more complex than just looking at a game log. However, sometimes you can just be like, this guy's got one start over 20 points, and there's like this year, like maybe he's just not having a good season, and maybe it'll be next year before we see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So the pitching pool today for us appears to be basically the same, which is kind of nice. Peralta, Robbie Ray, Chuck Morton, and Zach Thompson.
Yeah. I do think that Ray and probably Morton is the optimal.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that. No, I'm fine with them. I'm fine with any of those four pitchers. You guys do what you want to do. I'll probably watch the Brewers today, so I'm a little bit more likely to throw Peralta just for my own, what's the best way to, my own fandom. But I like Robbie Ray a lot too, so I go wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean, Peralta can pitch well and not be like better from a DFS perspective,
Sure, yeah, for sure. If you got the money, you can pair them together, which probably isn't that terrible.
No, I agree.
All right, so speaking of my Milwaukee Brewers, their lineup is already out. And against Tyler Anderson, Yelich got the day off, and they are very right-handed heavy up top. You got Hira moving up in the lineup. You got Avi Garcia. You got a red-hot Willy Adames at 4,800, which might seem expensive, but since coming to Milwaukee, he's been a very good offensive player. And I don't know who all read into this, but one of the things that's changing his life is simply the fact he could not see the ball in the batter's eye in Tampa. He complained about it for years. He's been a lot better. His road to home splits back in Tampa were major, so he's been really good, and he's just been on fire lately.
Yeah, he has been. The one day I used me at that 3, so he's on my bad side. But yeah,
I know how that goes.
I think the stat probably goes a little bit lower owned because they're so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Pena, 3,200, not a great hitter, but very affordable. Hero, 3,900. If you're looking for buying signs from Hero, even more, he did walk 3 times yesterday. Now, part of that is where he showed up in the batting order in the situations, but Hero is not a guy that walks a lot, so that's a good buying sign for me.
Big buying signs. I'm with you.
All right. As far as Pittsburgh goes, no thanks. Although, if you want to one-off Brian Reynolds, as bad as Pittsburgh is, this kid is having a great season. Has actually hit Peralta really well in his career.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, he's been really impressive for Pittsburgh this year. I mean, for a team this bad and nobody really around him, like, those are really nice numbers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. San Diego against Philly. Velasquez against Blake Snell. So, you kind of harped on this last time out, and Blake Snell has been all types of a terrible in road games. He's got one of the more pronounced home-to-road splits you'll ever see. Not interested in him. Are you interested in Philly?
A little bit, but kind of like
about where I am.
Kind of like Atlanta, a little bit, but not sure I get there.
Agreed. I got some time today for like the first time in forever, so I'm probably going to run at least 3 lineups today. I feel like Philly might be the team that like just barely misses my stacks.
I get that.
But we do want to reiterate that. Again, this may not hold up forever. We know Blake Snell is better than this, but he has been a literal gas can on the road.
Yes, he has. I mean, we talked about it last start before he got scratched. And yeah, I don't think Philly's crazy at all here.
Harper can hit lefties just fine. You know, McCutchen's cheap and good against lefties. Man, I feel like I haven't used Phil's pieces in a long time, though.
Same, me neither.
Segura is really cheap. Like, real cheap.
You could do worse.
Yeah, man. Like, if you're trying to get up to Peralta and Robbie Ray, Gene Segura slides nicely into that lineup.
Very much so. Excuse me.
Just going to double check to see if these guys have faced each other at all. I'm sure they have, but 1 of 8, 2 strikeouts doesn't give you any information. All right. Tampa against Toronto. We've already talked through Robbie Ray, which you guys should probably know we're not very interested in Tampa bets. What about Toronto against Yarbrough? I respect Ryan Yarbrough. He's had some struggles recently, so I don't think Toronto's crazy because we know how good they are, but probably not my main stack.
No, I think Toronto's definitely in play. They're going to be under-owned.
We always love that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you called it out a couple days ago, and they went off on Friday night. So,
who were they up against Friday night? You remember?
Tino.
Yeah, I mean, they're just. I mean, look at Vlad's numbers this year. I mean, 337, 27, 69, 1100 plus OPS. This kid's awesome.
Another team that we didn't talk about, can kind of skip by, was San Diego.
Oh, yeah. That was not on purpose. That was just a brain fart. Velasquez is having a better season than he has in a while. So there's that, but kind of the same thing as like Toronto. Like, we know San Diego is better than Velasquez.
Yeah, I am more likely to use Toronto than San Diego.
Okay. I tend to agree with that. But, man, you want to get me on Tatis?
Sure.
Easy peasy. He's kind of like Vlad. Like, he's just amazing. I could be into him almost any day.
Agreed.
Like, literally, unless those guys are facing Jacob deGrom, like, I'm a little interested.
Mm-hmm. They're just that good. They get up for good pitching, too.
Right? And they run them, too. Like, they have power. They steal bases. The lineup is full of good hitters.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'm with you, though. I'm more likely to use Toronto today. And they are a little pricey. Teoscar Hernandez, I believe, has 4 career home runs off of Ryan Yarbrough, so he sees the ball pretty well off of him. Springer has really kind of started to heat up lately.
Yeah, he has. We know that when he gets hot, he gets hot.
Yeah, he is. He's been a streakier guy, and he's definitely starting to play well. Bichette's amazing. Marcus Semien is quietly having just an awesome year.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
Always been a good hitter against lefties. Was absolutely scorching before yesterday. Who did Tampa pitch yesterday? Remember?
McClanahan?
Yes, he was really good. All right, so it sounds like we both have some interest in an under-owned Toronto today.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Hendricks against Miley. Man, the Cubs are scuffling.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything in this game you like?
I mean, not really, man. Hendricks versus who's pitching for
Wade
Cincinnati?
Miley.
Oh, no, I don't really want to stack against Wade Miley.
Okay. Chris Bryant has been hot the last couple days. Hits lefties well, has good numbers off of Wade Miley. I could get on board with him, but I just don't. I'm not prioritizing Chris Bryant.
Yeah, I'm with that.
But as far as Cincy against Hendricks, like, I don't know. No thanks. Cubs have a decent bullpen.
They have a real good bullpen. So, yeah, I'm with you.
Houston against Cleveland. Damn, got a lot of questionable guys here today.
I was going to say I liked Houston. They might potentially have a really cheap lineup, though.
How deep does Cal Quantrill go? He's a little stretched out.
Yeah. I could
Not
see Houston.
awful.
I could see spending up on pitching in Houston, these Houston guys like Chip McCormick, Straw. I know they were at the top of the order. Toro. Altuve got the day off yesterday, but I assume he'll be back in there today. So, yeah, I'm interested in Houston.
Okay. I gotcha. And then, all right. Even if Brantley and Tucker play, they're super cheap too.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think using Ray and Peralta is wildly in play, and this is a stack that might be able to get you there because I said Straw, McCormick, they batted 1-2 yesterday.
I mean, they're dirt cheap. Dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. White Sox against Detroit. Giolito against Manning. I think we've kind of discussed that we just don't really have a ton of interest in Lucas Giolito. I'm not totally opposed to a Detroit bat here and there because I'm sure they're probably not going to be over the top popular and they're very affordable, but it's still, on a bigger slate. It's hard to get too excited about Detroit, and even though probably don't want to throw Giolito, I don't really want to pick on him.
Yeah, agreed with you there.
Okay. What about the Chicago White Sox against Matt Manning, who is, well...
I think they're the top stack on the board.
Okay. We mentioned Manning last time out that he had kind of skated through his first two starts, but the fact that he doesn't strike anybody out is a recipe for disaster. I know you were big on the Indians that day. They obviously had a real nice one against him. So,
yeah, give me the White Sox stack for sure. I think they get a lot of love, so know that going in, but they're definitely in play here. They're starting to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, they make a lot of sense. I'm sure that you're right. They get a plenty of love today. If you're in cash games, you probably want to get after them as much as possible. The flip side of that argument is if you want to go in another direction, simply based on ownership, if Makata is out again today, you mentioned they still have been missing some of their better players for, the whole season. Tim Anderson wasn't having his best year, but he's kind of started to pick it up the last few days too.
Mm-hmm.
So they make a lot of sense. And, of course, you got your boy, your favorite player, Andrew Vaughn.
Well, no, Gavin
Andrew Vaughn. Gavin Sheets, that's what I meant. I'm thinking of your player you liked from earlier in the year.
Yeah. Sheets has been good. Homered the other day. He's hitting second today. A lot to like here.
2,700 is cheap. He's got a lot of upside. You talked about his power the other day.
I imagine he'll be real popular, and it makes a lot of sense.
All right, Atlanta against Miami. So this game's more about the pitchers for me. We kind of dabbled with the Atlanta stack earlier. I feel like I'm probably not going to end on them, but I definitely understand them.
Same.
Okay. And then as far as Miami against Morton, I'm more interested in Morton.
Same for sure there.
All right. So one of my favorite one-offs of the day, though, comes from this next game. And I'm actually going to talk glowingly about one of the Yankees right now, and that's Aaron Judge, who's been on a little bit of a power surge lately. Big career numbers off Marcus Stroman. I love his upside at the price tag of 4,500 as well.
Yeah, I have no arguments. I mean, he's 4,500 for Aaron Judge, so that's all I need. I'm not interested in offense from this game outside of that.
Yeah, I put him on the cover today. He's going deep again. Just gut call. We're going to get another big home run from Aaron Judge. I've always had, again, this doesn't mean anything today, but I've had such good luck with Aaron Judge on Sundays in Yankee Stadium against right-handed pitching that I feel like for all the things you might be unlucky with, this must be like, for my just like luck percentage, Aaron Judge on Sundays in Yankee Stadium almost always works for me for some reason.
Gotta love that.
So doesn't actually mean anything today, but it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. And then outside of that, that's really the offense I'm looking for in this game.
Same. I don't think you're crazy to use like a couple Mets lefties.
I was just going to say that. Like, what about a Francisco Lindor who was walked twice each in the last two games, had 2 hits yesterday? You can run on Garrett Cole, and he's been giving up a decent amount of power lately. And even though Lindor is having a terrible season, we know how good he is.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I like the Judge Lindor one-offs here.
Yeah, they're both super cheap for what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last game of the slate. Brad Keller takes on Kenta Maeda. I mean, I could get on board with some offense in this game as well. I don't love the ballpark in Kansas City for home runs, but Brad Keller has been god awful this year.
He's been awful. So Minnesota is another one of these teams that's wildly in play, I think, all formats.
I forget who you talked about. Garrett Richards, who actually wasn't as bad as he had been recently, but like referring to him as like the anti-GPS because he can't locate. Brad Keller can't locate anything. Like I feel like legit every batter he's faced this year, he's either walked or given up a hit. I know that's not actually true. It just seems like it.
Yes, it does.
So, I mean, do you think Minnesota goes a little under the radar as the last game?
Maybe a little bit, but I don't expect much.
They got a bunch of cheap pieces. Other than Nelson Cruz, even Polanco's very affordable. Josh Donaldson's kind of pricey, but he's day-to-day. He won't be playing today. Hamstring tightness for an old guy.
No.
So their offense isn't very good, but they're cheap.
I was going to say between the White Sox and the Twins, who do you like more?
I mean, obviously, I'm going to like the names on the White Sox more. They're just better. Give me the White Sox.
Yeah, I have no arguments there at all.
Just
stack Houston and use pieces from each of these.
Sure. Minnesota's just underwhelming. No Mitch Garver, probably no Josh Donaldson, no Byron Buxton. I mean, I know these guys aren't the worst players in the world, but, we brought up Arias as like a cap savings guy, and sometimes he works in cash games, but like he's got one home run this year. There's just not much upside.
No, the guys I like would be like Kirilloff, Kepler, Larnack.
Yep. You can talk about a guy with Kirilloff who I think didn't he get all 6 of those home runs basically in like one game?
Yeah, I know he had that real hot streak, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, he had that week where he looked like the best player in baseball.
Yep.
All right, so after kind of going through offenses a little bit, I think it is pretty easy to go with Peralta and Robbie Ray if you want to. I like Charlie Morton, Zach Thompson, but I mean, if I can get to both of these guys, it's probably where I'll end up. And I'll probably do that in at least one of 3, if not 2 or 3 GPP lineups.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. I think I'm going to play 2 chips today. And I'm going to go Ray and I hate facing Pittsburgh. Peralta's just so good, though. I'm a little bit torn, not going to lie.
Okay. Well, I mean, our pitcher pool is 4 guys.
Yeah, those 4 guys. Really, I don't love Thompson, but he is really cheap. So those 4 guys are who's in play. I'm with you.
I think for me, like if I do 3 lineups today, I won't use Thompson more than once. And it'll be the lineup that I'm going to be stud heavy. And he gives me the extra cap space. But I am kind of with you that I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. He faced Atlanta already. Atlanta's not having a great season, but we know their offense is still really good.
For sure. All of that is very, very true.
All right, guys. That's it for Sunday. Happy 4th. Go win yourself some money. Go watch some fireworks. Go listen to some Kid Rock or whatever it is that you do on 4th of July. And we will see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.